What's up, y'all? It's your guy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. This is my first video, I think, of 2025. We are going live. I know I have been gone, but we are at so much UFC to talk about. But we are starting off with UFC 315, the destruction, the death of Bilal. Remember the decision, Muhammad. It is a great day. It is beautiful. The birds are chirping. Well, in Oakland right now, it's a little bit of rain, but around the world, the sun is out. And I got to do it with the greatest co-host that any man can ask for, my guy Ed. I mean, can you just talk about the career that has ended for Bilal Muhammad and how we have been saved after the death and the dictatorship of his win streak has caused people.
Yeah, it's I don't know about win streak because technically the no contest with Leon would have snapped that as well, innit? The very first fight they had. But yeah, to be honest, I don't know anybody that's really like upset that Bilal's lost in it. I mean, welterweight's it's a very different field now, isn't it? Like obviously, a lot of moving parts. Obviously, Shavkat's injured. They're saying that he's not going to be back this year. Ian Gary's trying to claim a title shot after he's just beat number 13 on a one fight. He's on a one fight win streak. Get fucking lost. Obviously, they're talking about Islam coming up. They're saying that's going to be like the play. Obviously, Leon's losing. Sean Brady's on the win streak, but again, nobody's going to want to watch fucking Sean Brady fight for the belt next. Nobody's calling for him to fight. Believe it or not, I think I think the one that everyone's going to start calling out for, and this is depending on how UFC Atlanta plays out, is Joaquin Buckley. He's the one that's going under the radar in terms of being in line for fighting for the belt later down the line. Maybe not next because I just said I think Islam is the direction that the UFC want to go in. But Buckley's low-key the guy that's actually going to be the number one contender if he beats Marty.
Yeah. But it's tough. Okay, so it's like, all right.
If you've got Colby and Usman on your resume, you're on a win streak. You're getting all these finishes. I'm looking at the contenders now. Number one is Sean Brady. They've got Brady ranked number one. They won't give it him. Shavkat's injured. Leon's on a losing streak. They won't give it to. They potentially might give it to Usman if he wins one fight, based on obviously how he gets on. Because obviously, and I think it will be like if he did fight for the belt, it would be like one last hurrah, kind of like Stipe.
Yeah.
Ian Gary's number 6, and he's just all these. Obviously, since his win streak got snapped, he only beat Carlos Prates, and he looked shaky towards the end.
Okay, first of all, I will give Ian. He looked amazing the first 3 rounds. Let's be fair.
He did pop the last 3 rounds.
But to go back to what we were talking about strength of schedule and who is the better number one contender. In my opinion, all right, and I'm gonna ask you this: who has the better resume out of Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley? Right? Who has the better win streak? Would you say Buckley?
Do you know what? Based on name value, you argue if he gets Colby and Usman out of it, you'd argue Buckley, would you not? Because he's got he's beat Wonderboy as well.
Yeah.
But do you know what it is? I'm gonna have to pull up the wins. But do you know what it is? Buckley.
I mean, okay, let's look at Buckley. I mean, his last.
He's looked amazing at 170. Truth be told.
They show. Okay, all right. I mean, you know where the Ruzabov is.
Ruzabov as well.
I forgot about that one. That was actually kind of deep. All right. Okay, we can all kind of say Luque won. Luque was washed, right? Ruzabov is a decent contender, decent young. Well, he's not a contender, but decent prospect kind of contender.
He was a decent prospect.
Wonderboy, 41, and Colby Covington arguably past his prime. You know, but
I'll be honest. The cut aside, Colby didn't look like he was going to win that fight.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he was getting beat up.
I think if you obviously you look at it like this, if you have, of course, regardless of context, you look at it and you've got Luque, Thompson, and Usman on your highlight reel. That's an easy sell.
Yeah.
And Buckley's put on like amazing fights as well, and it just looks perfect for this division. And I get why he's at 185, but he's always looked like. We've always talked about certain middleweights that we've talked about him and Phil Hawes and Chris Curtis and those kind of middleweights being like, why don't they just fight at 170? They'd have success. Lo and
Yeah.
behold, doesn't take a fucking genius to work out that Buckley, obviously, he's got the momentum, man. And sometimes in this sport, and you go to the guy who's got the momentum in terms of title shots and everything like that.
So okay, I here's why I kind of agree with you. I think Buckley has better highlights. Something if you want to promote somebody, right? You have Buckley, right? I mean, even the fight, even though it wasn't like really anything special, him and Colby. I mean the fact that like he has that clip where he drops him, he's standing over him the first round. You could play that clip. Sean Brady, what could you really play from a Gilbert Burns fight? You know what I'm saying? But in my humble opinion, I think Sean Brady has the better strength of schedule.
He probably does, but it's just are you going to be that like we would be, because obviously regardless of what the card is, we're there, we're going to watch it, we follow the events all the time. But
yeah. So
like,
if
do you remember what they tried to sell us the idea of Bilal Brady too, didn't they? And everyone went, "Oh, that's shit."
Well, yeah, I know that's crazy, right? But I mean, okay, if we look at his strength of schedule, he only has one loss ever, right? But one loss in the UFC, that's the champ. I mean, he fought Bilal.
He's gotten better and better. Gastelum win is a similar one to Ruzaboyev. Like, he wasn't ranked. He wasn't really going to get anything if he won that, but there was a lot to lose if he lost that.
But
Burns was again change of the guard, kind of like what you described about Wonder Boy, and then Leon.
But I mean, in retrospect, I mean, Burns had a really close fight. I mean, not close. I mean, he was damn near gonna win the fight against JDM, right? So in retrospect, I'm like, damn.
I think that. We're still thinking this is the same Burns that fought Hamza Chimaev. I think the mileage is just there now, man.
But okay, all right. But I mean, he lost to what, JDM, who's the current champ, right? He lost to Bilal.
Giacomo.
Yeah, to be fair, right? He did those aren't bad losses. Now, if he loses to Morales this Saturday, okay, then we can say, all right, there's some mileage, right? But
I think Morales will potentially snipe him. That fucking reach is fucking mental. The way Morales picks his shots very well as well.
And then to finish, Leon Edwards.
Can we stop saying that, because that didn't fucking happen, by the way?
As much as it hurt me to watch that,
man, that fight hurt my brain so much.
It's hard to say. Like I don't know. Like, can Buck? When we're saying hypotheticals here, if Buckley goes out there and knocks out Kumar Usman, okay, maybe, like I could see him like just shitting on Brady. But if he does not look anywhere decent or looks somewhat like skeptical or even loses that fight, because I mean, Usman, there is some mileage and he's not the same guy, but let's not forget, man, the guy almost beat him
as well, man. I don't trust it against a younger guy who's hungry and you got the wind in yourselves. Like, you take out a name like Colby Covington, that I don't know what you say in America, but in the UK we say it gasses you up a bit. Like, it makes you feel like, oh wow, like I'm the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're feeling yourself. That's what you say in America, isn't it? Like, obviously he's beating Colby Covington. It's going to be obviously if he beats Usman, but as well as I do, like, fans like a lot can be quite reactionary. Like, say he folds Usman, like inside 2 rounds, face down, ass up. People are going to go, oh my God, he's just beat like Colby and Usman back to back. Like, who's got better wins on paper than that? Give him the title shot. Fuck Islam Makhachev. All this shit. Yeah. We saw it with Holloway at UFC 300. People went, fuck 45. Let's have him fight Islam Makhachev. Why the fuck's Dustin fighting for the belt? Do you get what I mean? So, it honestly, it's week by week, because, like, obviously, even though Ian Gary beat Prates, everyone's like, why the fuck's he weighing up as the backup? Like, he nearly got folded in the 5th.
Yeah, no, I agree to that.
A lot of it is going to be like week by week. We're going to look at things very differently. Like, obviously, it's just that's just how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? But yeah. Like I said, obviously Islam's going to be the direction they go in, but then we have to wait and see, because again, there's so many moving parts. Because Islam moving up affects 2 divisions, because Ilya and Charles, I think, is the move they're going to do at International Fight Week.
Yeah.
And depending on how both of those 2 title fights go, Like, what's Islam going to do? Is he going to come back down and fight at 55? Are we going to then have an interim at welterweight? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things, isn't there? But the good news is, obviously, we have no clear out number one contender at welterweight, and we can fix things and we can get things moving.
Yeah. Well, okay. But to go back to JDM, what did you think about the performance? And to kind of like give an in-depth analysis of what you saw, were you surprised on how Bilal kind of like went into that fight?
I'll be honest, it was a shit game plan from him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take anything from I'm not going to take anything from JDM because obviously the takedowns that Bilal did attack JDM stuffed most of them, I believe. Obviously, I think one of the rounds Bilal got over 2 minutes of control time. But yeah, I was I like JDM's game plan a lot. The only thing I didn't like was he stayed in the fence a bit too much for my liking. And I think against certain people that have a bit more of a grappling offense in terms of, because Bilal's like a take you down, hold you kind of schmuck. He's not like a take you down and let's try and transition and get you into a fucking head and arm triangle, all these kind of things. You get what I mean? Like Bilal doesn't move very quickly. Not like fucking Brady. Like Brady, we saw every time Brady took Leon down, it was with intent to do something. So
yeah.
In that sense, but of course the boxing was always going to be on point. Yeah, I did say that I can't take him seriously because Bilal gave him a black eye. That's quite hilarious. But
yeah.
He's the welterweight champion of the world. I did think, like I said, his wrestling's improved because I was one of those schmucks that was like, wow, he made Hafiz look like prime Habib. What the fuck's Bilal gonna do?
Yeah.
But you know what? They always go to Australia around August, September, don't they? That'll give him some time to recover all the rest of it. Bilal got fucked up bad. Did you see his face?
Yeah, I know his lip was crazy. Yeah, it was wild.
He's going to be out for a while, man.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll give my thoughts. Obviously, I think me and you kind of felt like stylistically it was a bad matchup for Bilal, and also like So here's the thing, like if you look at the
Bilal played himself a bit. I think he played into the fucking crowd's hands a bit, innit? Like the whole and all this shit. It's like, bro, sometimes you just got to do what got you to the dance. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, I agree. 100%. But the reason why I say it's a bad matchup stylistically, right, is because if you watch the Jeff Neal fight and you watch kind of like JDM, now obviously they have their own different ways of boxing. Obviously, I think JDM's a little tougher than Jeff. Jeff doesn't really take punches as well, but I do think Jeff has more power. But if you go watch that fight, it's kind of similar to what we saw here. And Bilal Muhammad, where he does his magic, a lot of people might not really agree, is honestly, he distracts you with his weird striking. And he gets his takedowns off that, right? Like his weird stance switch. Like he developed this system, like during the Lyman Good fight, where he's switching stances, like throwing side kicks. Not side kicks, but throwing.
I do like him in Southpaw, dude. This is the way, as goofy as it looks. I do like him in Southpaw.
No, it's effective, bro. It really is. No, really honestly.
I saw him against Luque in the rematch. I started to notice it when he rematched Luque. He started throwing this side body, throwing the body kick in it.
But if you go watch that Luque fight, because I rewatched it, it's actually weirdly competitive. A lot of people like, oh, Bilal won. No, if you rewatch it, Luque had his moments in there, and it's because Luque pressured him. Now, if you go watch his other fights, like Brady or Leon Edwards, he put them on the back foot, right? And that's where he was effective. If you go watch this fight with JDM effectively, he never got backed against the fence. His footwork was good.
Particularly the first 2 rounds, he took the center of the game.
Exactly. And Bilal also didn't really effectively shoot takedowns. Like anytime Bilal has been like, he's fought guys where like obviously they were the superior striker. He made them second guess themselves by shooting takedowns, right? Like that's how he kind of survived the Lyman Good fight. And when you take that away from him, he's kind of like rudimentary. Now his striking is not bad. He kept up. I give him his credit. He did keep up.
The problem with the striking is, I don't know, because he has no threat. Like he doesn't get knockdowns in it, and it's just it don't. He don't really mix it up in terms. Like obviously he throws his kicks and stuff, but it's not like right. He's thrown this high kick on this instance, so I've got to watch how like if he throws the cross, I can't slip my head this way because that head kick's coming. Like he doesn't make you second guess. You kind of know what he's going to do. It's just awkward at times, but it's just for me. It's the Arsenal and the range of weapons he's got. There needs to be more there, and it's just. I'm sorry, right, but if you've got no pop in those hands, you've got to figure out a way to make your striking effective. And he did that in the Wonderboy fight, but for this one, he just didn't get going. And
yeah.
I genuinely think he just played up to the whole, he just fought a boxing match with JDM at times, and it's like, that's fucking stupid. Like,
yeah. And there were moments, I mean, where he, like, I don't know if you noticed, he overcommitted with the right hand a lot, and he kind of left himself open for counters. Now, Jack didn't really do a great job of, like, kind of getting him there, but his defense wasn't the best, in my humble opinion, especially in a striking sense. And when it, and
I
that's
think part of it was also Jack wanted his hands to be free, so he wanted to dig the underhook because I think he was anticipating Bilal to overcommit and then drive forward, if that makes sense, with the takedown. So Jack left his hands free rather than obviously throwing. So because he could have. There was a couple of instances he threw an up. I think he'd thrown an uppercut and then he got taken down.
Yeah.
Like fuck. He learned from that towards the back end of the fight. It was like, right, I'm gonna free my hands. I'm gonna dig the underhook, turn him around, turn and get better position against the fence. And then obviously the crowd like popped, didn't they, when JDM got away from the fence. So but I think people he's very young, you know, to be at the top of the mountain right now. Like so
well, I mean, his career kind of went a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, he had some fights go his way, or you know, like just this whole entire title shot was kind of no, I'm not gonna say it was given, but he kind of needed one more fight to become a real one.
The thing is, right, as much as like I said, obviously Shavkat got injured and all these things happened. The fact of the matter is he showed up tonight and beat the welterweight. He showed up on Saturday night and beat the welterweight champion of the world. Regardless of whether he deserved it or not, he beat the number one guy. So nobody could take it to him. It's the same with Sean Strickland. People are like, oh, a guy like Sean Strickland should never be fighting for the belt in a million years. It's like, yes, but he stepped up when nobody else would, and he beat Israel Adesanya and beat the best guy on the planet.
Yeah, that's true. No, I agree. So, I agree. Yeah.
The better man won in the night, and there's no going away around it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just looked amazing, honestly, and I just loved how he finished the fight too. Like that was the biggest thing to me, because like he got taken down. I mean, Bilal was on top. He was like pouring ground and pound, and he was able to scramble up and just hurt him. You know, and try.
I don't know how you scored the fight, but I had it 3-1, potentially 2-2 to the fifth. I thought he might have earth-segged himself in that fifth round.
Yeah, and that was the crazy thing, you know. Like, yeah, it was very similar. I was a little worried. I was like, because you know, the first round, even though like I thought Jack was like he was onto something, Bilal kind of won it through his like weird striking, you know. And I was like, damn, okay, this is weird. But yeah, I had it 2-2 going into the fifth, and I just think that last like 30 or 40 seconds of just JDM just pouring it on him and just showing the hunger, you know what I'm saying? Kind of won him that fight. And
I don't know what Bilal's corner told him, man. He needed to. I think if Bilal held him down, he'd have won the fight, you know.
Hey, you know, honestly, bro, I really do believe, you know, you're 36 in this game, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And he did his thing against Leon, all right? And you know, I'm not gonna take nothing away from it, but me and you knew, like, win streak, like, and all that, like, you know, it's all cool. He wasn't the best guy. He was gonna get his ass whooped in December against Shavkat. He dodged a bullet. All right, you know, like honestly, if we're being 100% honest, like, yeah, he beat Sean Brady in a rematch, but like, I don't think he beats Ian Gary. I really don't, to be honest.
I think the way Ian Gary's been fighting recently is a bit risk adverse, isn't it? So he's.
I don't think he beats Buckley, bro. I swear to God, I don't. I don't even think he beats Usman, bro. Respectfully.
I actually really wanted to see him fight Marty, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously they've booked Marty and Buckley in it. So
yeah.
But the thing with Usman is obviously if he lost or how badly he loses or whatever, like Do you think that's Usman's last fight? That's kind of the $1 million question for me at the minute at welterweight, because I think a lot of it depends on him as well, isn't it? Because I think just the name value he has, man, it's just they never just let guys go in it. Like they either feed them eventually to the young wolves or whatever. Like I think if Usman wins, him and Bilal has to be next.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. If Usman gets knocked out like he basically got knocked out against Leon, I think it's a wrap. I mean, he has nothing to prove, you know?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I really wanted to see him at 185, though, man. Especially.
I mean, we did. We got to see it.
Yeah, but I actually wanted him to commit to it.
Yeah,
especially we saw Izzy get folded by Mavav earlier in the year, and I was like, right, this is Usman's chance to fucking just commit to 185 now. Izzy's not on here now. Fucking hell, man. This stupid, like, fucking. This whole fake loyalty thing, man, it's just fucking stupid. It's just.
Well, it's a bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if they went prime for prime, it's a pretty bad matchup for Usman.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm thinking about it, I don't like it for him. It's weird because Usman has Strickland.
That side kick would be problematic, especially against those knees.
Yeah, and Usman, I don't think I've ever seen him really fight someone really tall. So I don't know how well his wrestling, because dude, wrestling guys that are tall is fucking retarded, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
who's the tallest guy he's fought? Leon 6'2", I think.
Yeah, and I think that played a factor into why like he couldn't really hold him down effectively in that rematch. No, that trilogy. Because I don't know if you noticed, right? If you watch the rematch, he's doing well, right? But if you watch that trilogy, he couldn't do shit, bro. He couldn't do fucking shit with Leon.
I think round two was the one where I thought fucking Leon will defense grab and shit like that. I was like, fuck, this is rough. Leon, I was like, yeah, with defense grab and the way the first round was a bit cagey. I was like, fuck, Leon needs to win all 3 rounds. Otherwise, we've just lost the fucking bout. That was very nerve wracking. But obviously, whatever happens, and it's in Usman's hands. I think the UFC owe him that. But we've also seen the UFC treat a whole bunch of fighters that have given everything to the company a certain way.
Yeah, I mean,
like Frankie,
talking about Usman versus Buckley, honestly, how do you see it going? Like real talk. If you were to just make your assumption now,
honestly, I think Buckley. I think Usman's got a chin, though, man. I think people forget Usman's got. It's 5 rounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Buckley could get him out in round 3, round 4. Do you know what it is? It wouldn't I don't know how to explain it. It wouldn't surprise me if he got him out there in like 2 rounds. But at the same time, I just rate Usman's chin. I really rate Usman's chin. Like as much as people are like, oh, headshot dead, all this shit. He's got a fantastic chin.
Yeah.
He's got
the chin. When you think about his chin, it really hasn't. I mean, he's effectively wrestled. most of his fights, so it doesn't really get tested. It's got tested against Colby and kind of Gilbert, and then obviously Leon. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I kind of feel like it's one of those weird fights where I think Usman, he can go out there and
Usman's got to go back to I'll only need 30%. That kind of Usman. He needs to go back to that Usman.
Yeah, because
just do that.
Yeah,
do that. Don't fucking do the whole Marty 2.0 where he fell in love with his hands. Just don't take any chances with Buckley, because although he used to fight at 85, this guy looks so quick on the feet since he's gone to 170.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do think it really was a matchup thing. I know it sounds unfair, but I've seen him fight, and it was a long time ago. But he fought Logan Storley in Bellator. I saw him get ragdolled, and you do get better, but your habits always stay. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Yeah.
And when you like the way he overcommits to things, that's free money takedowns. You know what I'm saying? If Usman still has that wrestling, I know people are like they make fun of his knees and everything. It's still there. But he just really needs to mix it up. You know what I'm saying, Ed? He really needs to mix it up. He has a phenomenal jab.
They've both got phenomenal jabs and phenomenal reaches, isn't it? So again,
don't give Buckley ain't got no jab like that. Like he got power.
not the same. It's not the same snap as Usman's, but it definitely there's a jab there. He can like dictate.
Yeah.
A lot of it is gonna. There's an aspect to whoever controls the center because I think if Usman needs to back Buckley up against defense, I think Usman needs to earn Buckley's respect early, catch him with a good shot.
Yeah, he needs to back him up. Honestly, he needs to. Yeah, he needs to fight like how he fought Kobe that first time.
Go back up, T-Wood. We need that Usman. That Usman needs to turn up. The Usman that fought Tyron Woodley, that one needs to turn up. Go back up, T-Wood. Backs him up against the fence and just completely fucking ragdolls him. It's just
he needs to bring back that teep kick to the body. He needs to be on his ass for real. But it's a hard fight, you know. It really is because Buckley has shown good takedown defense. I still think those Logan Storley kind of habits they showed in that fight, they will appear. You know, it's hard to judge him off a fight like it happened so long ago. You know,
that's the way he's in the camp as well, though, man. Usman needs to go back to fucking Florida, man. Because when he's going to Whitman, man, his wrestling's been looking a bit weird.
I mean, like he doesn't have a lot. I mean, you got to think about it. Like Whitman, he's weird with his gym. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but it's like certain people can come in, certain people can't. It's not like it's weird because like I assumed that it was like Curtis Blades and all those guys from Colorado that go there, but it's not. They kind of separated. It's two different gyms. So I think Corey Sandhagen just recently started training with him. But
I think Corey's been doing it since Rob Font. I could be wrong though.
But they're very selective on who they bring into that camp. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I noticed. But
they get the right athlete. They get the right athletes, man. All those guys can work in training elevation, like Corey and Blades and Usman. They're phenomenal fighters and perfect fits for a gym like that. You're not gonna take someone there who like Alex Hernandez who fucking gasses out in a round there. Like, do you know what I mean? I think
but what's crazy is though, like as you brought up Curtis. Curtis has never even been in there. You know, I've never seen Curtis in there. You know what I'm saying? Like like that Onyx gym, like that, like Trevor Whitman gym. I forgot what is that gym called that Curtis trains at? I forgot what it's called. Elevation, right? They have Elevation, and then they have Trevor's
Elevation Fight Team or something like that.
Yeah, and they're kind of separate. I've never seen Curtis cry. I mean, I get it. Maybe there's no heavyweights they can really train up there with, but yeah, like so they're very selective on who they let in.
Difference. To be honest, like even Tom Aspinall was saying it because everyone's like talking about what is unique. I train with solely heavyweights, like training with 135s and all that shit. Yeah, that's good. Like they're quick and stuff. It's like I don't get a true feel for what it's like to be clipped by a heavyweight. Like he's like I have a team of heavyweights that I consistently train with.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like John Jones, for instance, he trains with. Like obviously, I know people take the piss out of his sparring partners, but like Maurice Green and Dontel Mays and all them lot. And what's his name, man? Fuck, I've forgotten his name.
Well, dude, fucking Connor.
Big ticket.
Connor motherfucking McGregor was training with Artem Lobov. All right, for like the longest. Okay.
I think that to a degree that's a perfect that was the perfect Diaz mimic for him because it's a guy who's a fucking zombie who walks forward, isn't it? So giving you them sparring rounds is going to be amazing.
No,
obviously.
What the thing is like my point is sometimes it's not about like having a really good sparring partner that's going to be competitive with you. No, it's having I don't want to say it like this, but having a punching bag that you can build confidence from. You know. It's real, like bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like I see it, like bro. I see it, and I swear to God, some of these guys do not spar elite fighters before their camps because they don't really need it. Because sometimes, like certain guys, if they get like touched up in sparring, it fucks their ego up, and they need that. Like some guys are weird, like that, I swear to God. And like, here's a funny thing, right? Now we talk about welterweights, right? I'm gonna tell you the most elite welterweight that trains at Onyx with Usman and Justin Gaethje. Sometimes he had a great performance against JDM, but Basil Hafez, who's on like I think got knocked out right last fight. That's basically their main training partner, right? You know, not saying like he doesn't cross train or whatever, but and obviously he's not posting everything he does in terms of sparring. Like I get it, Usman's not gonna give us all the tricks of the trade, but from what we see, that's that's some of the guys he's working with. But at the same time, though, fucking Joaquin Buckley is training at what, like fucking, what's the guy's name? Colin Williams and Jamal Hill and some other fucking you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're to judge their training camps. You know, obviously, I would say Usman has the better coaching, but both of them are kind of ego-driven guys, you know.
No, I hear that. I'll try to find Buckley's gym out because
it's like St. Louis, in fucking St. Louis. My bad. eBay, bring back the fight campaigns at least, for real. Yeah.
I was gonna say you got to, but surely you can do pay-per-views, isn't it? It's once a month.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest. None of these names stand out to me. You know, Buckley's gym. I'm looking at them now.
Yeah, it's really nobody, bro. Well, you know, honestly, and with Buckley, bro, there's a lot of rumors that he just like. I mean, back in the day, do you remember when he was beefing with James Krause?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, he's been known for like trying to like knock people out. Like, he's not a guy people like to spar with, bro. Honestly.
I think did he try and go to Miami and get some work with Kobe once?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things like
Kobe avoided him because, like you said, he has a bit of a he's developed a bit of a reputation, hasn't he? So
eBay.
People just spread the rumors, isn't it?
Have you talked about my boy JDM? Yeah, we did, man. We did talk about his performance.
We talked about Giacomo. It was the battle of the fake fucking pizzas, wasn't it? You got the Australian pizza slice versus the Chicago deep dish pizzas. Fucking terrible pizza, both of them.
Yeah, they set the welterweight title fights like really back with that performance. You know what I'm saying, Ed? Like just two like low level guys going at it, bro. I saw nothing special. I wouldn't even be surprised if Islam beats him in 15 seconds. I'm just playing. That was a great performance from work. I was just trolling you. JDM will beat Islam, then Shavkat, then break. Come on, stop it, bro. Stop it. Dude, Shavkat's getting that fucking belt, y'all. All right, Shavkat's getting that fucking belt. He's gonna walk him down and beat him up in the clinch. Your knees to the fucking broken nose, okay?
No, is that Ian Gary fight? He rubbed me up the wrong way, man. Because he did the same thing to Wonderboy, and I was like, "Fuck, man, this guy's actually like." I know he gets finishes and stuff, but he fights in such a way. Like he fights like fucking Usman. He does fight a bit like Usman in terms of clinching against defense. And you think, "Fuck me!" Like if Usman was doing this shit, you'd never hear the end of it. But it is meant that once he got 19 fights, 18 finishes, something stupid like that.
But to be fair to Shavkat, I think it's matchup dependent because, dude, Ian Gary is fucking bro. Like honestly, like I don't like that motherfucker. I don't like how the way he lives his life, but he's really fucking good at fighting. You know what I'm saying? And he's a bad stylistic matchup when you think about.
He supposedly got knocked out by Shavkat in sparring. He performed very well. You know, he wasn't like
bro. Did you see how he was kicking him at distance, bro? Like was it round 3 or 4, bro? He was at one point he fucking hit him with that little switch kick to the face. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nah. But Shavkat versus Jeff Neal was a great fight. You know, it was a fight of the year contender. You know what I'm saying? So he can scrap, but it's a matchup. I think him and JDM are gonna have a great fight, but he's gonna break JDM. Okay, you hear me? You hear this room record? He's gonna break him. Okay. Shavkat always injured when his bum ass doesn't perform. Gary Wonder.
I do think there's no coincidence that the second level of competition's gone up and Shavkat's obviously working to the full extent and the full intensity of the fights. He's getting injured now. It's a bit like Arnold Allen, isn't it? Like Arnold Allen's hands are breaking every time now.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, that is true.
We didn't talk about my boy LeGoat Murphy, school in America.
Fucking Josh Emmett.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff we should really cover, honestly, bro.
Well, obviously, we've also got this. Obviously, we can review the first quarter of the year briefly. To be honest. Obviously.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm on Tapology right now. But yeah, like you want to start off with the first pay-per-view of the year, like real quick?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, let's talk about you were right, man. Fucking Merab Dvalishvili, bro. Motherfucker.
I knew it. I don't know, man. I just knew it. I felt like everything was on Merab's side. Like if if Umar wasn't called Nurmagomedov, he was called by a different fucking name, I think people would have picked Merab. I literally people overestimate how good he is because of his surname. It's like, yo, he's still young, he's still got things to learn. Sometimes pushing these fighters into these fights too soon is fucking a very dangerous thing, as we saw. So,
do you think he got pushed too soon?
I do. I don't.
I mean, that was a great fucking fight, by the way. Just want to say something.
It was a good fight. But to be honest, I think in a rematch, I think there's nothing different that they're going to showcase in a rematch. Maybe like people are talking about he's breaking his hand in like 2 rounds or something, but it's like there's not much you can do. There's not much more different that Umar can do, or much more that he can present with.
You know what's funny about that fight in particular?
Main event boss.
So I work when I was doing security at Whole Foods a little bit, right? And there was this guy called Abdul Mateen. He's like fucking, I think, Afghanistan. So he watches UFC, but he only watches like fucking Dagestani or Afghanistani fighters. Just pure like he stands this guy. So I was like, hey, did you watch the Merab and Umar fight? What did you think? He was like, yes, brother. It's so sad. I'm like, oh, like, but it was competitive. It was really close. You know, honestly, like it was a good fight, right? It was close. You know, and he was like, no, bro, bullshit fight, man. Fucking Umar, he break both his hands. Not, you know, Merab, he dancing like he real champion. And I'm just listening to this. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
I'll be honest, shit. As competitive as it says the scorecards say, I think Merab just dunked on him and emoted on the entire time, bro. Merab made him look stupid. I can't lie.
Yeah, especially in the championship rounds.
How good is Tricky Simon, man? He fucking whooped Bashar. Oh, he smarts Bashar out cold.
Yeah, I didn't even bring that up. I remember he used to talk about Javid a lot. Like he would tell me, yes, you know, brother, future champ Javid Basharat. Wait. But I haven't seen him in a minute, you know. I put my 2 weeks notice up there. But yeah, bro, like
is it? Like, I just think he's dull to watch at it, Basharat. I think he's so dull to watch.
I mean, he was cool in the beginning. I thought he had some potential, but yeah, he's not. Yeah, Ricky Simon ain't the one, bro. The guy was formerly ranked, bro. Like I know he's hit a slum recently, but stop playing with my boy. But yeah.
And then you got what's it called, Yuri and Hill. What
was he sad? When that bum Simone KO the other bum. The disrespect. I got some links open. There's too many links up in here. Let me close these tabs, y'all. You want to talk about the Islam Mokwanya fight? What did you think about that? Potentially Islam's last fight.
Fucking waste of time.
Waste of time. What did you think about what's his name pulling out Armin? You know?
I'm never going to be that guy that's like, oh, he bitched out. I don't know the extent of his injury or not, but the UFC obviously pissed for a reason. So, I think, because obviously the UFC obviously get their doctors in and they're like, oh, obviously you're feeling some sort of discomfort, but we think you're still, like, if they still cleared him and he went, no, I'm not fighting, obviously the UFC aren't going to be happy with him. And the fact that obviously Dana said immediately after the post-fight press conference after the event, he was like, yeah, he's got some work to do now. Like, I'm not just going to give him the next shot. Like, fuck that, basically. So, yeah, that was...
But who would he fight, though, you know? Like, after Islam Darchokes, like, Money Mokanya, right? We're all like, oh, my God, that was a great... You know, it is what it is, right? He did his thing.
He slipped, though. People are saying that was a knockdown. He slipped, though.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I was so hyped for him, bro. I kind of thought he was gonna have his like little Michael Bisping moment. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was low key rooting for Mokanya. I was like, you know what? He cannot afford to.
He was scheduled to fight. I completely forgot. Was it Beneil?
It was Beneil. He was yeah. No, he's gonna lose that one. That one he was gonna lose, but whatever. You know, but I honestly against Islam, I kind of rooted for him. But nah, he didn't do his thing. I don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but we do got to talk about one of the better performances as well on this card. The Last Samurai, fucking Yuri Prochazka.
You keep shitting on this guy, you know, but it keeps, aside from Pereira, nobody's been really giving him that work, you know.
Dude, you know what? I swear, honestly, bro, I swear to fucking
Pereira
God,
the honest schmuck he's lost to since he's arrived in the UFC.
dude. I swear to God, Ed, bro. I swear to fucking God, that was the best performance he's ever put on. He made Jamal look untouchable.
You know what? He looked like Neo from the fucking Matrix, didn't he? All of a sudden, he
Dude,
learned how to be dead in 6 weeks.
I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, where did this come from? I swear to God, bro. I don't know if Jamal, like, he was wearing knee pads. I don't know what Jamal was doing. Jamal found some success in the second round with the knees to the body, but you know,
this was a fantastic fight. This was one of those where I'm not going to talk shit about who lost this fight because this was a great. The boys put on a great show, man. And
yeah.
He went out on his shield, didn't it? Like, I don't.
No, he did, man. He went out like a fucking warrior. I like Hill, man. He's a good dude, bro. You know, he talked his shit, man, and obviously, like, it didn't go his way, but
yeah. I know you championed Reyes coming back in it. I need to see Yuri and Reyes in it back again. They need to run that fade back, you know. If you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamal looked goofy. Yeah, he did. Dude, I remember I was watching that fight with some of my friends, and I was like, yeah, dude, Jamal's gonna fucking embarrass him, bro. I was like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, Fuego, like, not only Jamal looked goofy, bro, I looked fucking goofy in that room. They're like, everyone's looking at me like I'm supposed to be the expert, right? And everyone's like, what are you talking about, bro? The other guy's way better. You know?
Yuri does all right against southpaws now. I just think about how the beating he put on Reyes before the knockout. I don't know. He's one of those guys who just, like, with southpaws, he's not like phased. It's not like, oh my god, it's a completely different angle. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
yeah. No, it was weird. I mean, also, you know, I forgot about this Peyton Talbot fraud check. I remember that. That was funny, bro.
The Ridder's like flavor of the month, though, and it fucking has been booked with Whitaker now.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that.
The level of privilege Bo Nickel gets is insane. They were going to book him against Robert Whitaker after that fight if he won.
Yeah. I mean, you know, America's last hope, bro. We'll talk about that later. Hold on. Let's just save.
Seeing Americans get 4 checks for the.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. It was actually interesting to me too. Yeah. So, Duplessis versus Strickland 2. What did you think?
He beat the fuck out of Strickland.
Yeah,
he really did. Yeah. The only thing that was different is I thought he would have been like a TKO, like doctor stoppage or corner stoppage or whatever.
He got close, you know.
Close, but I did. Like, well, my prediction was that Dricus was going to get like a late finish, but you know what? Do you know what Strickland do? Strickland would be like, I'm going to plead for you guys. We're going to put on a show. I'm going to kill this man. And then it's just like teeps and jabs. And it's like, yeah. But the reason why I knew Dricus was going to win is because Strickland just isn't going to add anything to that's going to like make Dricus think, what the fuck's happening? Or what? Oh, this is different. It's like you're going to get the same schmuck rock up. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though, like you know, so me going into this fight, I was thinking like, you know, Strickland, he did really good in the first fight. I thought he arguably won, right? And I just think they're just gonna, you know, kind of leave off where they started, right? Like it's like the 6th round of their first fight, you know? And that's how I thought about it, but man, like, bro, Dricus, you know, one thing about him, because he has like kickboxing credentials, like legitimate, like actual, like you know, Muay Thai credentials, right? Like he's, you know, he has pro fights, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I always wonder like how, you know, but then I saw it in this fight and I never gave him his credit. And I started thinking about like, he actually has fundamentally sound kicks. You know what I'm saying, Ed? His punches are whatever, right? But his kicking game, if you go watch that fight with Strickland, his kicking game is legitimate, you know? It's legit, bro. Like the way he would punch off his kicks.
Yeah, he took Strickland's base away from him very well.
Oh my god, bro.
Second fight.
And then the awkward punches, you know, from awkward angles, like they're you don't normally deal with that kind of shit, right? Yeah. So it was really effective, bro. Yeah, he has good timing on kicks. I was so like, honestly, bro, like I don't like the guy, but like this
is why I thought the second fight was just going to be a lot more clear and a lot more decisive, because Strickland wasn't going to come and present anything different to him. So once obviously Dricus works nails the timing. It's like, right, I'm gonna throw this when Strickland does this. I'm gonna throw this kick then. So
Yeah.
he nailed the kick at the time, particularly on the lead leg. It was just
Yeah,
it honestly just worked a treat. And Strickland just does what Strickland does, doesn't he? Fucking does the same shit.
Especially like that lead high kick to cross combo, like the way you throw that, and then like he would kind of like the way he would throw his cross, he'd put that elbow up. You know what I'm saying? Like he put that elbow up, and like it'd be kind of an overhand, but he's punching over Strickland's shoulder. You know what I'm saying? He did that really smart.
I'll tell you what, though, Paddy low-key made the lead high kick more fashionable again. My boy Paddy lead high kick.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Paddy the Chaddy, yeah.
Yeah, the saddest day in American history. You know,
bro. Like when if Topuria wins the belt, I told you we're coming for his neck. You know, we're taking the belt off him. It'd be so satisfying if the UK win the belt and we beat that smug prick.
All right, hold on.
Hold on. It is.
Well, before we talk about Paddy, we do got to talk about Uncle Lion.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, dethroning Mr. Alex Perry. This is one of my favorite fraud checks of the year. You know, I don't like using that phrase, fraud check.
It wasn't really a surprise, though. I was disappointed with the fact that it was on the feet the entire time, really, and Alex didn't throw much.
He taught him how to box, bro. He exposed his boxing. He showed him Russian boxing, bro. He showed it to him.
They've got that Soviet style nail to it.
Dude, he gave it to him, bro. Honestly, that's really what happened, bro. Like, honestly, like, and to be fair to Pierre, he defended all the takedowns, you know, besides I think yeah, all of them, right? I think he took down Uncle I, right?
I think all of them got stuffed from what I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of fence work though. That's what people were complaining about. There's a lot of shit against the fence, wasn't it?
Bro, but the one that was on Bambi legs dancing was fucking Pierre. I'm sorry.
It was the end of round 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tom Osborne was watching that fight. He was reacting on YouTube. He said, "You guys want him to come out heavyweight. If I land on him, he gets knocked clean out." Like, it's just, like, yes, Pereira can have the power and stuff and come up to heavyweight and he's athletic and whatever. But I'm sorry, man. The chin's a chin, and that heavyweight, you make mistakes.
I knew Pierre was gonna be hesitant. He was moving like a coward during the build-up. Yeah, bro, like going to parties, like built-in excuses. Like, dude, like, Ed, I don't know if you like peeped it, but he was acting like a clown, bro, before this fight. Like, I don't know if he even trained, to be honest, but it's not, you know, it is what it is.
There was a lot of rumors about that, don't it? He weren't training as much or taking it seriously.
No, it's like he wanted people to know, though, Ed. I swear to God. Like, bro, I swear, it was like a Jorge Masvidal versus Usman kind of.
I was going to say, that reminded me, Jorge was on the plane eating pizzas and shit, wasn't he?
Yeah, whatever, motherfucker, you know? But yeah, honestly, if they run it back, it goes the same way, in my humble opinion. What else was on the? Oh, you know, Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Thought Gaethje had a good bounce back win. Honestly,
he was supposed to fight Hooker. I was disappointed that obviously Hooker broke his hand, but shit happens.
Yeah,
Fiziev going in. Do you know what? Maybe people turned down the fight and Fiziev went, "Fuck it, I'll do it." But he gets an insane level amount of privilege. You know, some of the matchups he gets.
Yeah.
Look, he gets to fight Justin Gaethje twice, and he's coming off a loss to Gamrot as well, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't think I enjoyed this pay-per-view that much from what I remember, though.
Yeah, dude. Oh, and then Jalen Turner retiring. I remember that. That kind of hurt me. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
And fucking Roofy.
Yeah, Roofy. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, let's talk about your boy Patty, the Baddie Pimlet. You can go on and do your little victory parade when I pull this out.
Mean, I'm not surprised, motherfucker. I told people, man. People keep doubting my boy, man. Just keep doubting the UK. Do you know what I enjoy about the most? The way we win our bouts is we just beat like the biggest dickheads. Like beating Luke Rocco to win our first ever belt was amazing.
Yeah.
And then beating Marty from Nebraska to win our other belt was amazing. I would just love to beat Ilia Topuria. Like if Ilia Topuria gets his hands on that 155 belt,
keep dreaming, brother. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. You know what I'm saying?
Volk dunked on Lopez like I said he was. The fucking KO Ken Chris Martino. Fucking schmuck.
You know, it's so funny to me. It's so crazy because I was watching that fight, right? I was like, man, this is the best I've seen Volk look in a long time, right? And obviously, man, the opposition, you know what I'm saying, Ed? You know, Lopez is not on like he's not on Max Holloway's level. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like
Islam Makhachev.
Lopez is a weird one because I feel like he's entertaining, but he's not like elite.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, the Brian Ortega win, all right, but I think Brian Ortega is not the same guy. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Brian, he had like that little window before the Max Holloway fight, and after that Max Holloway fight, he's never been the same. I don't care what no one says. He took a beating. I know he looked good against Zombie, but in retrospect, Zombie was past his prime. And we can all be like we can all just be honest about that. He took another beating against Volkanovski. After that, he's never been the same. Even when he fought Yair, he got his ass beat legitimately, like really bad that first round. He got a takedown, and we found out what Yair does when he's on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't see it with Lopez. Like, okay, yeah, he knocked him down. He had some good rounds, you know what I'm saying, where he's going forward. But I'm telling you, man, if Yair can just fix up that grappling a little bit, he makes him look retarded. I'm telling you. And that's
hard. It's hard though, because in my opinion, you know what Yair though, like he's been in the game for a while, man. It's like it should have been fixed by now. Like, I don't mean to sound horrible, but you get what I mean.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just he's naturally bad at it. I don't know. It's like weird.
He's 32. Obviously, 32 is not fucking old. Do you get what I mean? But he's been in he's been in the UFC for 11 years.
Some guys just can't grapple, bro. I'm telling you, man. It's like in their genetics, bro.
Like, what you saying? Mexicans can't grapple? Is that what you're telling me?
Huh?
Mexicans can't grapple. They can just do the Canelo hands.
No, you know what? It's not even Mexicans, bro. I'm sorry. It's not even. It's just him, bro. I don't know. It's his family or some shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. Like, no, there are some good like Hispanic.
I'll tell you what, bro. That press conference was one of the more entertaining press conferences we've seen in a while. I want to watch him and Lopez on that Merab card, the one that's going to happen in Mexico again. I think that's the one. Am I right in saying that? But I think that fight's happening in Mexico again, but I can't remember. But
first time I'm gonna pick Isabam to beat Bummy and Bummy to beat Arbiter. Oh, is he talking about
Topuria?
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you know what it is? As much as I'm interested for Islam and Topuria, I will say this to defend Islam: like, he can't win, because if he fights Topuria and wins, people go, he just defended his belt against 45ers. He's not fighting contenders. But if he doesn't fight him, people say he's ducking. But to me, I feel like, so he's broken the record for lightweight defenses. He's let a pound for pound great in Volkanovski go up twice to fight him for the belt. Yeah. So you've given someone an opportunity to fight for the belt to go champ. I think it's only fair that he goes up to 170 and gets his shot at fighting for a second belt, especially because he wants to cement the whole pound for pound number one thing, doesn't he? So
yeah.
I feel like for me it's fair, but at the same time, people are, oh well, he's ducking it. Like Ilya, it's like you can't win in it, because if he beats him, he only fights 45ers, and he fights him. But if he doesn't fight him, people say he's ducking. It's like, don't think he's ducking. He's fighting who the UFC put in front of him. Like, he fought Dustin Poirier, which was a waste of time. I know it was a great fight in the end, but when he got booked, it was like, really him? Like, he beat Oliveira to win the belt, snapped his win streak. Beat Volk twice, the second time around more decisively, and then obviously we all know the Moicano one was a farce, but he broke the record, isn't he? So doesn't like not had it.
I hear what you're saying on that one.
It's him and Khabib was
tough. It's tough.
So it's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah,
but if I'm him, fuck it, man. Get the 170 fight. Get the 170 belt. Is there really any like money fights like that? I mean, people are saying Topuria, but go fight for the 155 belt in Spain next year potentially. I wouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
I
don't know, like the way I kind of look at it, bro. Like, honestly, with it's hard, man. It's really hard. But the way I kind of look at it with Islam is, I mean, he fought Volk twice, right? Back to back. Well, he fought
Yeah,
Charles, Volk back to back, Dustin, and then Mocanio, right?
yeah.
I feel like the Armin one was really important. You know what I'm saying? That was the
Arman one was
really,
important. That wasn't his fault though, because I'm not going to
yeah,
criticize. I'm not going to criticize him for that because that's not his fault.
yeah, but that Armin one is important because that would be his like true number one contender he beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Dustin's coming off a win over Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit we found like Benoit is coming off a win just recently. Obviously, good for him. I like him, and he looked really good in that fight. But it was a no name. But we saw Benoit fight Mocanio, and then we saw him fight Dustin. We kind of found out, okay, he's not top 5 material yet. Maybe one day, But Dustin really didn't deserve it. I think, and it's not his fault. I'm not gonna blame him.
I get what you mean. He needed a fight where there's no asterisks. Like the Volk one was like, oh well, he's coming up in weight, and then the second time around, people like a bit like Aljo's reign in it. People always had something to say after. Like everyone was like, well, it's TJ's shoulder and Yan this and Yan point deduction and Yan's DQ, and you know how people said his was fluky. Like I feel like with Islam's, people are saying, right, well, he beat Charles Oliveira. Obviously, fair enough, he beat Charles. The first time around, people are like, well, Volk's a featherweight and he had him on skates. The second time around, he finishes him. People go, well, Volk took that short notice and was fat as fuck. And then the Moicano one was like, well, we knew Moicano was nowhere near his level anyways. But it's like, that's not his fault. He can only fight who's been in front of him. Like you look at the rankings during his time, it's been the only name that's really come into the fold in the top 5 is Max Holloway, and that was off the back of last year. Dustin's always in the top 5. Chandler's always been in the top 5, but he spent 3 years waiting for Conor. Justin's been in the top 5, but he wins one, loses one. Charles has been in the top 5, but he lost to Arman Tsarukyan and then beat Michael Chandler. Arman, like you said, Arman was the only guy that you really look at. He's the really only one that we're like, fucking hell, we needed that fight. But
yeah, it's not his fault. So
Arman's isn't like the Arman fight isn't his fault. Like as much like I'm not afraid to criticize someone, and I'm not afraid to like stick up for them as well. Like I'm not going to criticize him because his opponent decided to pull out.
Yeah.
And the UFC have gone, right, well, we think he could have competed. The doctors have cleared him, and yet Arman has still decided not to compete. We're not going to hold Islam accountable to that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, well, fuck you, Arman. How about you fight the Gamrot again? He's already turned down the Gamrot fight.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Like, that was interesting because, like, Arman, I mean, I don't want to go like in on Arman. Honestly,
I think if he's not fucking careful, he'll end up getting Corey Anderson on the Kiev.
Yeah, I know it's a sticky situation to be in, but
because he doesn't finish fights and he's not entertaining, and the casual fan base don't know him, so he hasn't really got the pull to be doing all this shit.
Yeah, I know.
I think just fight someone and let everybody know I'm back, bitches. You gotta be like, you must have forgot.
So like when we talk about Arman, right? It's weird because it's like he has that win over Charles, right? But more people talk about Charles fighting fucking Ilya than him. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that mind blowing? Like the fact that he's not in discussion to fight. That's the crazy part to me. Like let me pull this guy's picture up.
I'll be honest, maybe it's just me, but I don't want to watch Ilya vs Arman for like a vacant belt.
Yeah, it doesn't get you hyped. I mean, yeah, and that's kind of sad, but that's it's the truth, man.
And the thing is, Paddy's Paddy's the he's a bit like the dark. He's like the dark horse. Like, where does he fit into this? Because they're gonna try and give him another name now, aren't they?
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, okay, let's talk about Paddy Pimblett, right? I really want to talk about that fight with Michael Chandler and the criticism that Michael has received now. So here's my question: is Michael Chandler like the biggest fraud ever? That's the way people are making it out to seem. Or is Paddy Pimblett really that guy?
I think I'll say the first thing I'll say is I think everybody's downplayed Paddy's performance, but then they had no issues with Charles's performance, even though Charles nearly got finished in the 5th.
Yeah, right.
In my opinion, Paddy's performance was a lot more decisive than Charles was. Across both of Charles's fights against Chandler, I'll say that. He looked a lot more better. He looked a lot more polished. But
Yeah.
I think with Chandler, he beat the guys that he beat, right? So I don't think he was ever gassed up. He just squatted on his spot, right, and waited for Conor. Nobody ever had him as top 3.
So did you see that video? What's his name posted? Grant Dawson. Yeah. Did you see what he posted about Chandler? Like,
apparently he's gone in on him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going off on him, right? And
I think is he like 2-4 or something?
It's not good, bro. It's not good. But my thing is like, okay, Chandler. It's weird because he's like a fan favorite sometimes, but like because he's lost this last fight, it's like people forgot about it, bro. Like the guy went tooth and nail with Justin Gaethje. He gave Dustin Poirier a run for his fucking money.
I think he did as well. I do think he had Dustin.
You know what I'm saying? And he knocked out Dan Hooker. You know, you got to give him credit for that. So it's like now the Tony Ferguson one, okay, that one was just sick. But I mean, first guy to knock him out and he punted his fucking head through that goddamn arena.
I mean, people love to do this, isn't it? Like obviously when it comes to like dressing somebody down, they'll go, "Oh well, Tony was washed." It's like Tony wasn't called washed when Chandler beat him, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know this well because you went back and forth with people about who's going to win, Chandler or Tony.
Yeah, no, dude, it's crazy. People actually argue.
It was very much a 50-50 fight, and now all of a sudden we're going, "Oh well, Chandler didn't beat anybody good. He beat Dan and Tony, who's washed." It's like Tony wasn't labeled as washed when he won, though.
Looking for you. Let it go, bro. Let it go. It wasn't
the wins he got were impressive. The losses were stupid. Like,
I mean,
he could have held the belt. Like people forget, like against Charles, like he really had Charles badly hurt.
Yeah.
First time round, and then obviously the second time round, I do think he looked really slow against Paddy though. But Paddy's what people don't understand about Paddy and underappreciate is his distance like management now is a lot better. People used to say he gets hit a lot. His chin's always in all this shit, so he corrects it and he doesn't get hit as much. And he's like,
no, dude, honestly,
it's to a point where Bobby Green's shooting takedowns on him because he can't get a fucking like can't land.
I'm not gonna lie. I never gave him his credit. I really never, honestly, Ed, I'm going to be honest. I never gave him his credit for the Green fight. You know, when I started noticing he got better, I don't know, did you see this sparring video? It was like basically a fight with this other guy.
Against the opposite gym. Yeah, I've seen that. He choked him out.
No, but fuck the chopping out. When he took his legs out, I was like, yo, like he's actually really technical right now. Like I'm actually I'm like, I don't, and the other guy isn't trash. Like, you know, he's doing good stuff. It was good work, you know, before the takedown. But in the striking, he really incorporated a lot of calf kicks and it kind of changed his game. Like he's better. Obviously his hands are whatever, you know, like I still feel some type of way. I do think he leaves his chin in the air. And like, I think mid-range boxing isn't his thing, but
I think because they're tall, it's a bit different, isn't it? When the average height of a fucking lightweight is like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna get someone coming upstairs with like a massive overhand, like them Josh Emmett. You know the midgets who like load up and like swing for the fences. It's that kind of shot. But it's the fucking H-bomb in it. Like honestly, the UK, we've got PTSD from that, man. The way Henderson did that to this dude. Honestly, man. Yeah. To throw that one punch, you know, it's fucking crazy. Anyways, I think with him being tall and him understanding the distance a bit better, obviously you're not seeing him get hit as much, and he's understanding when to be in and out of range, isn't he? So you're gonna get that. He was always gonna get that though. Like he's still very young to this game though. Like, and he asked me about my thoughts when he first arrived. I said, Don't expect from the first fight for you guys to look at him and go, "Oh wow, he's going to be the champ," because you're going to see him grow into it. Like, you see grow into it. There's a lot of fighters that you see grow into it and eventually get to a stage where they're going to go for the belt. Like Jack Miller, he grew into it. Like you watch him against Hafiz, you think this fight ain't going to touch the fucking belt. Like,
yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of examples you look at. They just grow into it, and obviously, the one thing I'll say about him is he's always matching and rising to the occasion, which is a very good thing. Like he's not like shit in the bed or anything like that. So, and he's been in these, like being in the co-main of a pay-per-view as well is a big deal as well. So
yeah, well, honestly, I give Paddy his credit, bro. I just say that right now. He looked amazing.
Say that again.
No, I give him his credit, bro. I'll give him his credit. But
Amazing.
listen here, Ed. You know who didn't need to grow into being a fucking champion? Ilya motherfucking Tapori. We knew he was world championship material. The
Took
first
Zalati position,
fucking step he took in that octagon. Okay, all
driving for
right.
legs, driving for legs for a decision against Nadal.
Uses the law is good, bro. You saw what he did to Gator. You saw what he did to Gator. He taught him how to box, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, Paddy didn't fight guys like Damon Jackson. Oh, good.
Oh, bro, damn.
Yeah, in America, you say stat padding, isn't it? But you don't say stat padding for like combat sports, do you? But like, you say stat padding mainly for basketball, don't you? Sorry, but, like, I'm gonna look up Toporia's highlight shit. I'm gonna look up Toporia's resume. I'll tell you, he's not even that good, you know. I look at like,
Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon. Huh?
So he beat Damon Jackson.
Who's the guy Patty fought the first time? The motherfucker that was hitting him. Like, who was it the debut? I remember that motherfucker. Yeah, man, that motherfucker had him dancing, okay?
Hey, Ryan Hall, he struggled to take him down.
Bro,
we stopped
so much
him,
for
bro. So much for the rest of it.
He got headshot. You remember Ryan Hall, future champ?
Yeah, but he got headshot by Jai Herbert, so I'm not counting that loss. Bryce Mitchell.
Jai Herbert is still in the hospital because of that fucking fight. Hey, listen here. The UK were scored. I remember you were talking shit in the first round of my live, right? And you were quiet. It was like you saw someone die, huh? You did his eulogy. You know how you started his eulogy? You said he almost won. He almost had him.
Promise you, go back to that fight companion. Yeah, I was fucking rooting for Topuria, so you can't even say that. So I'm looking at Bryce Mitchell took him down. I said Bryce Hall, fucking hell. Josh Emmett couldn't even fucking finish Josh Emmett. Like my boy
Lerone. You're talking about a box, bro.
An old Volkanovski whose chin just got destroyed the previous fight. And then the Max Holloway was a controversial stoppage with the refs.
What?
I'm not having this, man. Your boy's got over it. TV. My boy choked out and broke Bobby Green's arm, and he finished Michael Chandler better than anybody else, I might add.
He went life.
He's like Paddy's finished 2 Americans. Like, you can't talk to me like Paddy owns America.
No, he doesn't, bro. No,
Paddy for president.
Jared Gordon's still walking around the streets.
I'm just saying, Paddy was not losing to a single American
in his pocket. All right, that's the legal guardian of Paddy Pimblett. Okay,
Paddy's not losing to an American. Can I just say
that? Bro, he already did. Okay, it already happened. It's just three fucking blind judges didn't see it that way.
D'Amato and Chris Lee and all them schmucks said. The three jabronis said Paddy won the fight. So I'm saying Paddy won the fight.
Oh my god, whatever.
You know I'm gonna be this shameless. We're gonna go all day about this.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Yeah, but, I am actually impressed, but he, again, like I said earlier, he's the dark horse because I don't really know where to put him because the way the rankings and everything's lined up, it's like Max and Dustin are paired off against each other. He's retiring, so that's going to free up a spot in the top 15. Arman's sitting out. Charles is going to fight Ilya. Dan Hooker's out with a hand injury still. Yeah. Gamrot's been offered Arman, but he's not fighting. But Arman's turned that down. And then Paddy sits at number 8. So who's Paddy going to fight? Justin Gaethje is left on his own. I don't know if they're going to do him versus Justin Gaethje.
It scares you, huh? That's why, right?
No, I think Justin's waiting for Dan Hooker. Oh, I don't care. Justin tap like chicken, man. Like I told you, we're not going to lose to Americans, man.
Bro, dude, he might kill him. Okay, do you hear me? He might kill him.
Dustin Poirier didn't want the smoke. Dustin even said he didn't want to fight Paddy. So I told you. These Americans don't want to fight Paddy. Max is Hawaiian, so that don't really count. I don't want to fucking fight Max. No. Justin, easy money. Charles is Brazilian. Arman's Armenian. So I'll tell you, I'm not scared of the Americans, man. Like, trust me, like the UK have got this, man.
The bum was hyping up his changing his name. Oh, he's talking
about La Leyenda, and then he changed it back. Yeah. I told you, man. These midgets that tried Aura Farm is insane, you know.
Aura Farming. Dude, is that real, bro? Did you make that up?
No, it's an actual like phrase, isn't it? It's like okay. I used to work with kids on it, so it's like I used to work with kids on it, so sometimes they come out with phrases you feel like such a fucking boomer, even though I'm one of the younger teachers. But yeah, Yeah, man, they come out with certain phrases is amazing. But yeah, fucking aura farming. I told you, man, he's trying to do the most, man. The sunglasses, the Dolce and Gabbana adverts. Yo, how about
Bro,
fight Paddy, man? Like, sign the contract, fight Paddy.
it's,
International Fight Week. We're fucking
bro,
ready.
we're fighting Charles, okay? You
No, no,
heard
we're not
me?
fighting Charles. Look, Charles is still eating steak in the favelas, man. Like, he's not gonna make the weight. Fight
No,
Paddy.
that's the fight though. I do want to see that fight. I honestly, if Patty
I
can
think
beat,
the UFC in the long term are planning for Ilya and Paddy, isn't it?
yeah, but it's the problem is it's like, what does Ilya want to do? You know, like it's kind of like his world. You know, Tim.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
I was going to say, speaking of long-term planning, they tried to do Hamza and Bo Nickel in it. They're trying to line that up in the next 2 years.
oh yeah, let's talk about that, bro. Yeah, let's talk about that.
See, whilst we were talking about Americans losing fights,
dude. So when they made that fight, I was like, yo, that is a bad fight for him, right?
it is a bad fight. It was always a bad fight, though.
Dude, like to be fair, right? Like I was very aware of the Ritter or whatever the fuck his name is for a long time. He used to beat this guy on Ong Song or whatever, like on ONE FC that I like to watch. He used to fight out of like Kill Cliff. He still fights out of there. He was a fun fighter to watch, just really good striker, breaks people down. This fucking guy, the Ritter, came out of nowhere and humped him to death, basically, right? And then the motherfucker moves up to like heavyweight, fucking does his thing there, becomes a champ, and then he moves up to heavyweight. I don't think he didn't get the heavyweight belt, but he is weird, right? You watch his fight with fucking what's the motherfucker's name? GM3, and you're like, oh, he's not that good, right? You assume, right? You assume, but he's fucking Drickus 2.0, right? The way he fought Bo was so like nonchalant, you know, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna work your body, I'm just gonna break you down, and I'm gonna just stuff these takedowns.
You know what's crazy? Derek Brunson would have probably fraud checked.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
People don't want to hear that, but that's actually the truth.
He might knock him out, bro.
We had this. We said the problem with Bo Nickel is there's no middle ground to build him up. He's gonna end up fighting someone too good too soon, and he just hasn't got the skill set yet.
You know, and this is the UFC because it's like MMA is, you know, and that's the thing. Here's the difference between MMA and boxing, right? They in boxing they really set you up for success, bro. Especially if they think you're a star. You know what I'm saying? They will protect you as long as they got, you know. Like right now, Turkey, my boy Turkey Al-Ashik, he's trying to change it up, you know. But they will protect you as long as they can. The UFC is just a tough fucking sport, you know what I'm saying? And Bo got caught up, you know, and I like Bo, you know, I do like Bo, but this middleweight division, it's starting to become one of these divisions where you're starting to think you're seeing things transform, or like you used to see like guys kind of like move up to the top 5 that really didn't deserve it, you know. Back in the day, like when Izzy was champ, in my opinion, I kind of saw some of that. Like even people felt like that about Derek Brunson, to be honest. But the way I see it now, it's like you gotta be solid, bro. You gotta be solid to be a top 15 guy. You can't, especially a top 10 guy in any.
Well, it's weird, don't it? Because we had Muniz like rise and fall, and then Kevin Holland, and you get all these guys, and then they just get stopped in their tracks, man. Even Darren Till as well, man. Darren Till hit like a breaking point. It happens to all of them. So my logic was, if it's gonna happen to these guys, respectfully, it's gonna happen to Bo Nickel.
Yeah, bro, and like I like Bo, man. I don't hate him.
He talks so much shit though. Oh my god! Like if you see some of the shit he talks, I was like, he's so fucking smart. I can't wait till the day he loses, because he's never gonna be able to lose.
I saw it, but like, you know, American wrestling, you know, coming from a former kid that used to wrestle, I used to watch Bo's fucking highlights. So I always liked Bo, but I really started to dislike Bo when he fought Paul Craig. And I mean, Paul Craig
he didn't trust his grappling, don't it? That told me he didn't rate his skill set.
Oh yeah, dude, bro. Honestly, it's different. And you know, he ate some humble pie, but yeah, it was a good lesson for him to learn, bro. For him to grow, he needed that.
I just didn't like the fact that he talked shit about guys who actually won belts, defended belts, Hall of Famers, all this stuff. It's like, mate, you haven't accomplished anything yet. Like,
yeah,
chill out. Like, why are we talking about like he's talking shit about Robert Whittaker and stuff? It's just like
Fluffy owns Brenda, bro. That is the most okay. All right, let me just talk about this.
Fluffy would have fraud checked it bad.
Yeah, I know. This irritates my soul. Let me talk about Brendan Allen here. He's gonna be fighting. I heard he's fighting.
Brendan's backyard in Missouri, not Missouri. Louisiana.
Yeah, he's fighting Vittori pretty soon. Okay. It's retarded. I don't know what Brendan thought he was doing in there. Honestly, I don't know what the game plan was. You're effectively better. He effectively got better than Fluffy at striking. Really, honestly, if you look at their careers, he leveled up with his striking, and he doesn't utilize it at all. I understand like he rates it. He does have good grappling, but Fluffy is he's like how do I describe his grappling? It's like he's like a washing machine. Like he puts you in a washing machine. You know how like the washing machine goes around and around, he's just on you like that. Like he puts you like he's you know what I'm saying? He puts you in the washing machine. That's what
him and the Pereira fight was quite telling for that.
Bro.
He was gonna lose that fight initially.
I mean, listen, Ed, I've never seen a beatdown like that. Okay? Like that, he showed levels, right? So he puts you in a washing, he breaks you down. You don't want to be there. And he invited it, and I felt like he had his moments. He showed, if you watch the rematch and you watch the first fight, obviously he's improved a lot. But, you know, there's a lot of things with fight IQ you got to ask yourself, you know, and I think that's what happened to Brendan.
He's only ever lost 2 fights, you know. That's quite impressive. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, Brendan's solid, bro, you know, but the thing is, like, and I feel for Brendan at the end of the day. But you gotta be smarter in there, man. You really do. You gotta be locked in. You just can't think that, oh, I can beat this guy everywhere. No, you gotta make these championship level decisions where, you know what, like, I'm not gonna play this guy's game. I'm gonna play where he's weakest at, you know?
Don't do a Bilal and box the fucking boxer. Like,
you know, and listen, bro, you know, I don't want to be mean to Bilal. He
lost 3 in a row, Brenda. I didn't know this. Oh, 2 in a row. That's the other one's Baraya on a grappling match. Fluffy and Anders and Imavov. To be honest, they're not the worst losses in the world, you know.
Oh no, they're not. I mean, Fluffy. I don't really. I mean, he is good, but I could see he is fighting Roma Dolidze, bro. He better not play in that motherfucker's guard, bro. You know. But
I think Dolidze's Dolidze's so hit and miss though.
Dude, Dolidze. Okay, when Jack played, dude, I'm telling you, Dolidze only loses on the feet, bro. I have never seen that guy out grapple. Jack thought it was a game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hermanson thought it was fucking.
I was just gonna ask you.
He thought that shit was sweet, bro. Don't play. But
Abbas Magomedov is ranked.
Yeah, he beat what's his name, Pierre, or you know.
Yeah, but still, of all the people.
But yeah,
just I really thought it's weird, isn't it? Because even though Imavov is ranked first, Kyle's probably going to be the flavor of the month, isn't it? Because of the fighting nerds thing. He's probably going to be the one that's next in line for a shot.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, and that's the thing for Brendan. To go back to him, he really got to work on it. Oh yeah, I was saying this thing about Bilal. Yeah, and not to be mean to Bilal, but you're only a champion when you defend your belt. And I'm sorry, sir, you didn't show championship level IQ in your last fight. And that's the thing. Like, you know, Ed, I kind of feel like this about MMA because I don't see this in a lot of other sports where IQ is somehow thrown out the window, you know, and like game planning and strategies is kind of like frowned upon, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not frowned upon, but like they don't do it.
Yeah, but in boxing, it's a thinking sport, and not to be rude, but MMA's always had that connotation in it, where it's like, oh, it's barbaric, and like back like 20-30 years ago, they called it like human cockfighting, and then you know that schmuck that's got that just bleed like painted across his chest and stuff.
Yeah,
the UFC promos, they always see it like that in it, but in boxing, these things are just appreciated and people love it more. It's like Floyd's like risk adverse when it comes to fighting, but you're always gonna get that because, to be honest, I'm quite guilty of it. Like I've seen, like especially when like guys like Izzy had their title reigns, I was like, he took no damage in the last fight. He's gone into the Cannonier fight holding a fucking Undertaker urn, wearing a fucking hat. You just walked in,
Yeah.
just kick for 5 rounds. Like you can fight more expansive without having to put yourself in line of getting knocked out. But yeah,
Yes, that's true.
and obviously in boxing, obviously their press conferences and stuff, their structure's a bit different to ours. Like Dana will come out and say he didn't like a fight or didn't like a fighter's performance.
Yeah.
Like,
He'll
Dana does publicly dress down guys, whereas you won't see like Eddie Hearn or like Turkey and all those other guys. And Don King and all those guys, them guys never really did it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't trash. I mean, it's
boring. Like they don't trash their own fighters because it's like, yo, I get paid when this guy gets paid, so I'm not going to trash him.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, here's the thing. Like, I was telling my boy, if the worst thing that happens to you in your fight is that you have an off night and you win and you look kind of boring, that's the worst thing that happens to you. You know, that's not bad, right? But if the worst thing that happens to you is you got in this war and you heard the crowd like cheer you on and you get knocked out in the last 30 seconds, that's a concussion. That's a trip to the emergency department. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you might be off for like a month. They might tell you not to train for a month. You know, so.
But I think you get medically suspended for 6, don't you? 5 or 6.
Yeah, you're probably not fighting for a year. So it's like, if you're smart, I mean, I've seen Marlon Moraes fucking come back in a month after getting fucking spinning heel kicked by Corey Sandhagen.
Marlon Moraes ruined his own career though in my defense. There's a few fighters that have done that though.
Yeah, you know, but
obviously I know hindsight's one of those things, but after the war Dan Hooker had with Dustin Poirier, he turned around in like 3-4 months and then fought Michael Chandler. And
yeah,
you could do that fighting someone with pillow hands, but you can't turn around like that fighting someone like Michael Chandler.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be smart. You know, you can't fucking play around. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's weird, bro. It's really weird. But I don't know. I don't know. Brendan, I still believe in Brendan. I think he can do it. And
you might be doing it the long way, man. The Bisping way. You don't know.
Turkey handing out money for boring fights. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, matchup dependent. Like he did his thing. I thought, you know, to kind of like, if you want to talk about boxing, we can. But that kind of like, I don't know if you guys heard about the Times Square card. It was kind of bullshit. Like me and my boy Jalen, we wanted to go, but I heard they weren't letting people watch it. You know, on the streets. Like they boarded it up. So like, did you hear about that?
Yeah. To be honest, though, the Devin Haney fight was fucking shit, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, Devin. It's sad, but Devin's like kind of like he's still dealing with that loss. You know, mentally, physically, all of it. You know, and it's tough, bro. It's tough, man. It really, you know, he's a good fighter, but once your confidence is broken, and then his dad doesn't do him any fucking favors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think a lot of it. Sometimes he's got to want to do it for him. Sometimes his dad lives vicariously through him, innit? You see that all the time. I don't know in America if it's the same, but like people's pops like watching kids like watching their kids play baseball and stuff in like little league and whatever. It's like, yeah, but does your boy really want to play it, or are you living vicariously for him because you never got to do it or whatever? It's like maybe he's at a point where he's like, I've made all this fucking money, I just don't have it in me, innit?
Yeah,
which is a weird concept because he's not old either, but he has been boxing forever, hasn't he? So
yeah, and that's the thing about Devin, bro. Like he I don't know, man. He didn't look like himself, bro. When I remember when he fought George Kambosos that second time, he could have finished him. You know
I do like fights like this though. This is one thing UFC don't do, like, you know, tune-up fights essentially. Like I do, like we don't do that for our guys, innit? Like, you know, if our guys have like had a blip or whatever, we don't do that to help them get back in the swing of things because they don't.
Yeah,
Tony could have done with a tune-up fight. I know.
Yeah.
I know it was like Charles Oliveira he fought next, but he could have fought someone that was a bit. Trying to think of who was like really ranked high up at the time, but isn't now. Like at the time. Like he could have fought like Diego Ferreira or something. He was like ranked number 11 or something. But after him taking that much damage, just give him a fucking grappler.
Yeah.
Like at that time, it was like Gregor Gillespie and Diego Ferreira and Kevin Lee, those kind of schmucks.
But I don't think he won. I think he won the big fights. Like he fought Charles right after, right?
Yeah, but what's it called? Gregor Gillespie really wanted. I think he'd beat Diego Ferreira as well. He wanted a big fight. He called out Tony Ferguson. That would. I
Yeah,
would have.
but like, you wouldn't. Tony didn't want to give it. Tony didn't care about him. You know,
Yeah,
like
Tony did. This is the
at
thing,
the,
though.
and at the end of the day, the UFC's perspective is like, if I'm gonna pay you this big contract, you're gonna.
I need to fight the big names. Yeah, I can't pay you this. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? like
it is true though. Yeah, I get what you mean. I need you to fight. I need you to fight. Yeah, but then fighting Bobby Green and fighting all those guys.
yeah, and to be honest with you, bro, I don't even like the tune-up fight system that boxing has because, like, bro, think about it. They could have just made Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing this, and now, like, okay.
Based on how both of them performed, though, would you have looked forward to watching that on Times Square?
Well, no, but we didn't know. Like, if you would have just it's not the way I look at it is like selling it, and then whatever happens, happens because you got the tickets already. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't a good look for Ryan though. Rolly went up in weight class and did that to him, man. All he did, that was fucking.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like that's the sad part, you know. With that situation, it's like not only did Rolly just go out there and beat him, bro, but he fucked up a big money fight. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I like Rolly versus fucking Devin. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say it. Like sometimes boxing, it's a lot of politics in it. This is why I'm convinced sometimes the scorecards get a bit fucked with. If you catch my drift.
How bad is Diddy Haney? Yeah, getting outboxed by Rolly. But you know, it's crazy. Is like the way I look at it, though. Like honestly, Ed. I mean, Rolly did really good against him in sparring. Obviously, sparring is sparring, but I saw that and he beat the shit out of him that day. Honestly, if Rolly's chin, like, you know, wasn't compromised, I probably would have picked him. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, I swear to God, I really would have. But
he's not a guy who gets cracked left, right, and center, though, from what I know.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. But like the last two fights,
I'll look up his record now. Look.
No, like his last fight, not his last fight, but the fight before that against Pitbull, he got fucking smoked. And then he fought some old dude even before that, almost got knocked out in that fight. And then against Tank, he got knocked out. So it's like his chin was suspect, you know?
Isaac Cruz, yeah, I was gonna say Tank he lost to, but I thought he was winning the Tank fight up until he got knocked out.
Yeah, no, he was. I agree.
And then Isaac Cruz. I'll be honest. The thing with boxing, especially the midgets, man, I can't stand the tippy top. I really can't, bro. That's why I like heavyweight. That's why I like it. I'll be honest. I like cruiserweights and up, man.
Yeah, like no, dude. Honestly, like Jay,
because MMA is different in structure. I can watch like obviously a 15-minute fight, but for me to sit there for 12 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, like
yeah, it's tough. Not the same.
Watching people doing the foot battle, watching people set up jabs. I feel like I'm watching PE on, like for fucking.
Fuck you.
Bro, I don't need to see this shit, man. Oh yeah, they take 4 rounds to get going. Just put his lights up, man. Like I'm joking, obviously. Before he's actually being a dickhead, I am actually joking because I understand in it. Like I'm not stupid. I've worn the gloves before. I know how fucking big they are, and I know obviously with the weight and stuff. Obviously, it's hard to fucking put someone out in like fucking 12-ounce gloves and 16-ounce gloves and shit like that. Whereas obviously with 4-ounce gloves, there's a different fucking gravy man hitting someone with 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah,
but
I hear you on that.
Which is why I just had no confidence when Conor went up. I was like, mate, like he fights in 4-ounce gloves. Of course, he finds people's chins. Whereas if you're fighting with like all the padding and horsehair, this and 10-ounce, 12-ounce, 16-ounce, whatever the fuck it was going to be when he fought Floyd, it's like, mate, even if you find Floyd's chin, it's just your power's not going to carry. And he went back down to 140, like he fought around 140 or something like that, 147 or something like that. I was like, yeah, he just isn't going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it was interesting though. Like I give him credit for trying.
Do you know what it is? Like, no seriousness with boxing. Boxing's a thinking man's game, and I'm more of a checkers schmuck as opposed to chess. Like if I have to, like I said, I can't watch someone get. I do enjoy watching Usyk though. But if you want me to watch like Inoue, who weighs like 120, it's like, I'm not watching 120s fight, bro. Like,
all right, let me ask you this, Ed.
The size of my leg, bro.
Like, you know how people say like boxing has a sweet science, like that Floyd style, kind of like not getting hit and then
Downloading
hitting.
data. Yeah.
What do you think is the sweet science of MMA? Like, like I remember, I'll never forget this, bro. I had a friend tell me
Yeah,
that
come on.
Bilal has the best style for MMA. I swear to God, bro. I remember he told me, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, he takes people down, he outboxes people, and he doesn't get hurt. I'll never forget that, bro. I never fucking forget that.
I thought you could say what's the equivalent of us saying sweet science. Fucking MMA, we don't do science, man. It's fucking recess. It's us running around. It's mayhem.
Bro,
Fucking biology lesson in the lab with the goggles and the Bunsen burners. Us, it's fucking recess. It's fucking chaos over here. We're running around in a playground, playing hopscotch, climbing on frames, and I don't know if you guys have monkey bars in America or you call them anything different. But do you remember when you was in like elementary school, you used to climb the bars?
Yeah.
That's kind of like MMA is just different to boxing in that sense, man.
And then some people might bring up like Anderson or Israel or John, and I feel like all those guys aesthetically is like their styles are based on kind of their athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, like obviously there's technique that goes into it, but they're fucking like 6'4", 6'2". You know what I'm saying? Long, like big. Like you can't teach someone to be that. You know, have that kind of reach.
You get guys like DC. He looks like he works at UPS lifting boxes for a living, and he's won 2 bouts. Do you get what I mean? Right. He looks like a truck driver. He eats Slim Jims and drinks Diet Dr. Pepper and shit, and he drives from like state to state, like moving people's house furniture.
Honestly, okay.
Like, but that Schmuck's won 2 bouts. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I would say the sweet science of MMA.
I told you it's not science, it's recess. Stop saying we don't study over here.
No. But if I was to say there was a style that was like the perfect style for
it's wrestling, isn't it? It's a wrestler boxer, really. It's like the Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, like or someone like a GSP, honestly, like real talk. Like if you want to fall, if you don't want to get hurt, I mean, he did get beat up by John Hendricks, but if we're like kind of like we ignore that, if you want to look at a style where you're really not getting hit a lot and you're actually like, you're wrestling and you're winning fights and you're not going into wars, it's probably his style, honestly. But even GSP said he had concussion problems, so.
I think, but GSP also said he was talking about training. He said that he fights so hard in the gym to the point that come fight night, he's not getting hit as much. Otherwise, if I'm getting hit constantly at the gym just to get beat up in fucking fights, what's the fucking point? He trains to that extent so that he doesn't get fucked up when he's fighting.
Yeah, basically. So,
I think Max Holloway is a bit like, because Max Holloway doesn't spar, which is crazy to me. He's still crazy.
I never believed that. I think that was cat. Maybe he didn't spar during COVID, but I think
they're probably, the whole flow thing and touch and all that stuff. I don't think he fucking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be effective. But like,
Jim's earlier, like his gym isn't a household name. I couldn't name a single schmucky.
Hendricks with him so bad he ran.
Do you know what it is though? Yeah, I don't want to say anything about. I don't want to say too much about GSP because I respect him in it. But it's like very convenient that a certain anti-drugs doping company came into the frame and he decided to leave.
It's so weird, bro. Like it is kind of crazy.
Years to get drug testing in the sport.
Yeah, dude. And you know what's wild, bro? Like I really do wonder, bro, if he would have made it through. Like there's a few guys like I remember there was a rumor that even what's his name was on the sauce and he had to get off of it, like Luke Rockhold and like people said that shit about Connor too. But I mean it's like a rumor. It's a big rumor, but a lot of people believe it about Rockhold. A lot of people believe it about Rockhold because he was on some next level shit during his run. You know what I'm saying? Like he was doing some crazy shit, y'all. Like some real crazy shit.
There's a few. With Rockhold is a bit different. Some of the losses he had, like the Romero one, obviously he got backed up against the fence and then he got clipped. It's like obviously, if you know someone can hit that hard, don't let him back you up against the fence. You've got the fucking reach. You can dictate how the fight goes. Really.
Yeah.
A lot of it that was down to game plan, and the Bisping one, although obviously we're joking shit, that a lot of that came down to he got caught. It happens, but also took Bisping lightly. The whole 2 weeks thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was the flukest of flukes,
Yeah, Okay, well, I just gave Rockhold his props. Don't fucking start that now. I told you we love beating Americans for the belts, you know.
Yeah, whatever, bro. You know, you're so lucky. I love Leon, bro. You're so lucky. I love Leon.
It's all right though, because we're about to win a third belt.
You're very Ed, bro. You're really lucky. I love
We're
Leon,
gonna win
bro.
2 belts this e-boys. We're gonna win 2 belts this year. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ilya's gonna fight in June and he's gonna beat Charles Oliveira, whatever. Then in December in Vegas, Ilya, obviously Paddy the baddie. Paddy's gonna sit out, red panty night, whatever. That's Ilya's red panty night. We all know Paddy's the number 1 draw at 155. So then Paddy's gonna, whatever way Paddy wants to win that fight, he's gonna win that fight because Ilya's a Georgian Garden gnome. Anyway, then Tom Aspinall's obviously gonna fight John Jones when John Jones decides not to duck, and then he's gonna put his lights out in 1 round.
Okay, all right.
We're winning 2 belts this year.
Okay, so all right, I'm not gonna lie. My Mac is on like 2%. I got one last question for you. This is gonna be how we're gonna end this. I want to ask you, if Ilya does fight Charles Oliveira, who you got?
Topuria.
You think so? He gets him out of there?
I think Charles has struggled with that structure of human being.
Yeah. And if so, okay. My last question is,
you know, like Machamp and Machoke, them Pokemon evolution schmucks. Like Charles, like Chandler's like the baby Pokemon, and then Ilya's like the evolved version of that. You know, them stuffed midgets with the wrestling and the overhand.
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally the best version of that.
He's got a lot cleaner boxing, particularly against the fence.
Yeah.
Charles is good against the fence, particularly clinching with knees and stuff. But I just think, obviously, for the fucking bands, I'd love Charles Oliveira to win. But my problem is, if Charles Oliveira wins, I don't really want to see him fight Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
Whereas if Ilya wins, either my boy Paddy dethrones him, or he ends up fighting Islam, which is for a pound for pound fight. It's very compelling and very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But, and I need Ilya to win so that we can take the belt off him. Because I'd rather beat Ilya to win for the UK to win a belt than Charles. I don't want to do that to my boy.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying there. Yeah, but okay. I know. Come on, bro. You already know the answer to that. I think Ilya's gonna get him out of there, man. I think he's gonna make him quit. I think he's gonna really make him quit. The real talk. He's gonna make him tap the strikes before he goes out. I'm not lying. I think he might do it. I wouldn't be surprised. But my my other question to that is, like, if Ilya gets a second belt, right? Where does this
one belt? He vacated the other one. Not giving him any credit for that.
Come on, bro. It's 2 belts technically. He won 2, not double champ, but
technically he is the double champ because the guy who did the 45 belt is the guy he beat to win it. He is technically a double champ. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, whatever.
I just gave him credit there. I was being nice to the midget.
Yeah. Okay. No, but my question is, where does this put him in like a GOAT conversation? Like, because he's like in an interesting situation. Because it's like I kind of feel like he's following Conor's path, you know, in a weird way.
Or what you say? He's fighting Terence Crawford next year, boxing.
You never know, bro. I mean, maybe Crawford's a little too big, but I'm trying to think like who would he fight?
No, I want him to fight Crawford just so he gets fucking put out.
No. Crawford's too big. I'm not gonna lie. Crawford's too big, bro. Crawford's too big.
Names in boxing though, that there's not really people. There's not like a Floyd equivalent, in it? Like in 2025, like you got Crawford is big, but he's not casual big. Canelo's like casual big. That's about it, really.
Like Crawford's trying to fight like at 168. Like that's not he might do bad things to my guy, you know, honestly. But no, I'm just like I'm watching him and I'm seeing what he's doing. It's really like Conor.
I get what you mean though, because even though he's so young in his career, to have Volk Max in your resume already and then win a second belt inside 18 months, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, as much as I take the piss out of him, he's actually he's a very accomplished individual. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying in that regard. It's just, it's a lot of moving pieces, though, isn't it? Because you don't even know. Assuming Islam comes back, does Islam win the belt at 170? Does he not? If he does, is he coming back down? If not, then that's going to slide Paddy to fight for the belt, I think, in my personal opinion. I think if Islam doesn't come back down, after winning the 170 belt, I think they do potentially Ilya and Paddy next March, because that's when they like to go to the UK.
Yeah, no, I can see it too. You're right. But yeah, no, I mean that's obviously the biggest fight they could make in at lightweight, real talk. But I mean it's you got a ways to go. I think Paddy needs one more fight and then he's good. But yeah, man, I would love to watch it. It would be awesome. But yeah, that's it for me. You know, I am basically almost done with all my battery. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, I know you guys want me to come back to consistent YouTube making you know, things work out with this job I'm trying to get. Hopefully I can kind of get back to the grind. And I just need, you know, obviously we got to regroup, rethink. But I'm going to keep doing the fight talks. You know, I love doing them.
I like them as well. I do think they're funny.
Yeah, I'll always keep that to a consistent basis. But right now, life is life. You know, life is lifing. But if I can get something going on with the setup, maybe I can bring it back. Can bring it back full time. We can just really do some good stuff. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, keeping the chat a little lively. You know, the 2 viewers I had, but I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Make sure to like, you know, share the video if you can for your boy. But yeah, man, I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all.